Hello, cruise family. It's time for a Carnival Venezia review. Many of you know I just got off Carnival Venezia for the second time. This sailing was June 10th through the 18th, and I left out of New York. I've been getting a lot of questions about if it was the same as the first time I was on Venezia, what changed, and I'm here to let you know. My daughter and I left on Amtrak. We went to 30th Street Station in Philadelphia, and we took it all the way to New York Penn Station. It was about an hour and a half travel, and it cost $30 total for the both of us. When we arrived in New York, we decided to catch an Uber, and we went to port. Now, the first time I went on Venezia, we walked to the cruise port, which was about a 30-minute walk, and it was kind of tiring. It was hot. So this time I decided I would take an Uber. The Uber ride, which is only about a mile and a half away, took over 30 minutes. It was crazy to me. I don't think I'll go that route again. I think next time I'm going to walk again. Once we arrived to Pier 88, it was smooth sailing from there on out. It was super, super quick once we walked in the door to the time we could sit down and wait to board the ship. The only thing I will say is there was no priority seating, which again was fine. There was hardly anybody in there. But I know for the people who are Platinum and Diamond, I did ask if there was priority seating and they told me just to sit anywhere. So that was a little interesting, but it is what it is. I didn't actually research this, so I don't know if they were just wrong. Maybe I asked the wrong person, but I'm just relaying what I was told. Now, this time while we waited inside the port area, it wasn't crowded at all. The last time I went on Venezia, it was so crowded. It was very overwhelming. It made my anxiety flare up really bad. There was just people everywhere. Now, I don't know if it's just because I got there about an hour and a half earlier this cruise versus last cruise, or if maybe New York Cruise Port just got things kind of under control, so it was a lot better now. But I will say this boarding process was better than any other boarding process I have had, including Baltimore. So we only waited a little bit of time sitting in the cruise port area until they finally called our boarding number, which I actually had the first boarding number. It was A01, and then we got to get right on the ship. It was really, really cool being one of the first people to be able to board the ship. It was like completely empty when we got on, which was really, really awesome. We made it on board. Guys, this was the best boarding process I have ever had on a cruise ship, and we are on the ship and in New York. We're waiting for sail away. First thing that we were going to go do is drop our bags off in our cabin, because this cruise I did turn Platinum, and one of the perks is that you can drop your luggage off in your room as soon as you board, just as long as you leave afterwards, so they can still continue to clean the cabins. So something new this time when I was on Venezia was the elevator areas. They only had them set to go to deck 10, and they called it the Lunch Express. So you were able to get on the elevator, it went right up to deck 10, which is Lido, so you could get lunch. So that's not where I needed to go. So I asked the crew members who were around the elevator area, how can I get to my floor, because I am Platinum, I just want to drop my bags off, and they said that I cannot do that. So I nicely told them, hey, I am Platinum, this is one of the perks, and they did not know of this perk. So I asked another crew member, and that crew member also did not know. They told me I had to wait till 1:30. So then finally a crew member came off the elevator, and they asked that crew member, and she said, oh yeah, she can go drop her luggage off. That's, you know, part of being Platinum. So I went in the elevator with her, and she personally had to take me up. Now, I don't know how the other Platinum and Diamond members on this specific sailing, if they had this issue or not, but I know I did. And another thing I want to point out while we're talking about elevators is Carnival Venezia does have smart elevators, and I've talked about them in my last review video, and I'm going to talk about them again now. I love, love, love these elevators. They are super efficient if you use them right. However, the majority of people are not using them right, and they don't care to use them right. So as soon as you walk in front of the elevator, this screen is the one that will pop up. I'm going to deck 10, so I'm going to press it once.
10, car M.
And it's telling me to go to car M, which is right here. If there is 2 of you, you would press it twice. If there's 3 of you, you would press it 3 times. And that helps with not getting the elevators very full. It got towards the point, even at the end of the cruise, where there would be a group of people outside of the elevator doors, and they would say, "Hey, what floor are you guys going to?" And then people would yell like, "Oh, we're going to deck 10." And then everybody would just pile on without even selecting the amount of people or anything on the outside of the elevator. So they got designated a correct elevator, and it was really just a mess this cruise. Now, last cruise on Venezia, we didn't really notice that problem as much. However, this time it was definitely an issue, and there were so many times we got picked to go on a certain elevator and it was just completely full because that's what people were doing. I understand it's a different process and it's something new, but I really do think if people use them correctly, which it's not hard, you literally are just pushing a button and then going to whatever elevator it tells you to go to, it would save a lot of people a lot of headache and a lot of time, and you could just get to where you're going. So after we dropped our bags and I talked to my room steward for a little bit, I got his name and we were just chatting for a while. Everything was good after that, and we decided to go grab some lunch. So our first stop, obviously, for my daughter was Guy's Burgers. Now, I don't eat burgers, but she wanted a burger, so I grabbed some stuff from the buffet.
It's fancy, I ain't gonna lie.
It's fancy schmancy in here. Amira got her first burger. Take a bite. Tell me how it is. Wow, what a bite. All right. I got a little bit of everything. There's the funfetti cheesecake for anybody wondering. It looks different than it did on Horizon even now. There's no more cake in it for sure. Looks good to me though still. The food, guys, was so good. And I had the same exact experience the last time I was on Venezia. The food is excellent on this ship. After we ate, it was time for sail away, and sail away from New York is so beautiful. If you are cruising out of New York, you have to make sure you go and watch the sail away. Sailing by the Statue of Liberty is absolutely beautiful. Let's talk a little bit about Sea Day Brunch. Sea Day Brunch is a favorite of mine on any ship, but I really do love it on this ship because the main dining room on this ship, guys, is so beautiful. But aside from that, the food was good. It was really fast. It was actually the fastest Sea Day Brunch I've ever had on any Carnival ship. Like, sometimes you go to Sea Day Brunch on Carnival and you're in there for like an hour, hour and a half. Nope, we were in there for like 40 minutes. It was wonderful and the food was great. Breakfast buffet is good. It's definitely not one of my favorites, though. I don't really like the eggs that are on the buffet. I know a lot of people were unhappy because they don't have bacon every single day now. It's every other day. But they do have all of your typical breakfast foods. I don't really know any other ways that they could really switch up their breakfast other than maybe adding some sausage gravy or cream chip beef or things of that nature. But they pretty much have everything breakfast related out there, from grits to cereal to bacon to sausage to potatoes. There's bagels, there's fruits. I mean, tons and tons of stuff. As for lunch, I really love lunch buffet on Carnival. I said it on my last review, and I'm going to say it again, and you guys are going to hear me say this a lot, but there are 2 totally different sides to the lunch buffet on Carnival Venezia. You actually have to leave the one buffet area and walk down on deck 10 and then head to the other side of the Lido buffet area. This is what I mean by 2 different Lido buffets. This side is your more Americanized foods, pot roast and mashed potatoes and chicken and pasta and things of that sort. And then on the other side of the Lido Marketplace, you're going to have international stuff. Keep in mind, this is during lunchtime. This food all looked really, really good. I know they had some Greek offerings here. I personally don't know if all of this is Greek food, but I know some of them were. So keep in mind, it's not going to be, the buffet that's kind of next to you. I know that there are sometimes 2 different buffets on the same side. No, you guys actually have to leave the one area and walk down and check out the other buffet area for more offerings. You also have a really nice selection of cakes on the lunch buffet. That's always a favorite. They are serving the cakes differently now. They're slicing them up into little squares. It's okay. It saves on waste. The cakes were still really good. Actually, the best cakes I've had on a Carnival ship were on this sailing, so that was exciting. And then they did have chocolate extravaganza on the last sea day, which is where they have tons of different chocolate cakes, and they have a chocolate fountain with fruit. So that's also really fun. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. It is at the lunch buffet on Lido on the last sea day. It's chocolate extravaganza. Something people always look forward to. Cakes are back there. They're really just for show now since they slice them up like this. Chocolate cheesecake, chocolate coffee. Guy's Burgers was a favorite. They also have Italian themed burger on this ship. It's called the Melty Moots. A lot of people loved that. Amira ate a Guy's Burger seriously every single day. And then we also can't forget about Blue Iguana Cantina. However, on this ship, it is called Tomodoro because they do have some Italian offerings. Still always, always, always good. The tacos are always a favorite of mine. Something Venezia has that I think is really cool is they have something called La Strada Grill. That's also open during lunchtime. It is outside on deck 5, and it is really, really good as well. This is on deck 5, guys, midship. It's called La Strada Grill. This is what they have. I feel like a lot of people don't know this because it's actually not on the ship maps. You have to come outside to see it. I'll show you some of the food that they're putting out. Alright, this is my plate. I literally got a little bit of everything. Grilled vegetables. This is a salad. The meatball, quinoa, and chickpea, mac and cheese, which actually did get thicker as it sat, so we'll see. Sausage, corn, garlic bread. Main dining room dinner was really, really good as well. I will say, though, I'm not pleased with the new Carnival menus. I don't really personally like the changes that they made, but that's just my personal opinion. However, the food itself is still good. There is a decent amount of specialty dining on this ship, from the steakhouse to a Italian restaurant that is only on this ship. It's called Il Villaggio. I did not eat there. The prices are actually pretty high. But we did get to experience teppanyaki on this ship, and I've never done it before, and the food was so, so good, guys. Definitely recommend. I also recommend going during lunchtime. It is cheaper, and it's the same exact food. Thank you. Got our rice.
The middle one first. We left at midnight. I'll stay full. I'll stay full.
The pizza was awesome on this ship. The line definitely sometimes could get crazy long, but the pizza was really, really good. It wasn't burnt like on some other ships. It wasn't soggy like on some other ships. It was just really good pizza. And I also can't forget about the midnight buffet. It does say it was supposed to start at 11. They opened it most nights at 10:45 p.m. and it's really good. I love the pizza on the midnight buffet. It's a thicker crust pizza. They also have chicken and honey mustard, which is literally the best honey mustard in the world. There are chips and salsa every single night, as well as some type of cake. It's just really delicious for a late night snack. I for sure give all of the food on this ship a 10 out of 10. There was nothing that I can think of that I had that I was like, wow, that just was not good. As far as the layout goes on this ship, I think the layout is perfect. It's really easy to get to everywhere you need to go. I think decks 10 and 11 are perfect. I really, really love the layout. And not only that, but the ship itself is stunning. As soon as you step on board, you can tell that it's not your traditional Carnival ship. However, as time goes on, it's still the same Carnival vibes. It just looks a little bit different. And in my opinion, it looks really, really beautiful. I think a main concern with a lot of people who want to cruise Venezia is they're concerned about the Lido. The Lido definitely looks way different than any other Carnival ship, and they're also concerned with the size of the pool. I personally do not think the size difference in the pools is that noticeable. I still think that no matter what pool you're on any Carnival ship, if it's a hot sea day, the pool's going to be full regardless. I love the layout of the Lido on this ship. It's beautiful. Instead of more loungers, there's a lot more tables and chairs, so it does look smaller. But once you're actually on board and you're there, you'll notice that it's still huge. It's just a lot more tables and chairs, which I personally love because then you can go grab Guy's Burgers or Tomodoro, sit down and have lunch, or enjoy a drink from Rococo Bar. Rococo Bar is right on the Lido deck. It was my first stop when I did board the ship and we went to Lido. I did get one of their frozen drinks. This is special, just specific to Venezia. This bar is not on any other ship, and it is a really, really fun bar area. There is a wide variety of bars on this ship. A lot of them do have the Italian theme drinks mixed into their bar menus. A favorite of everybody's was the Amari bar, which is just like the Alchemy bar on other Carnival ships. As far as entertainment goes on Carnival Venezia, it's awesome. The playlist performers did a really, really good job. I loved every single show that we went to. Mark Q did an amazing job at Love and Marriage. Family Feud is new to this ship, and that was really, really fun. They had two shows. One was PG and one was not. I did not go to the one that was not PG. However, I'm sure it was great. Deal or No Deal was also on this ship, and I did let everybody know during my sailing that they did change the prizes slightly. Before, you were able to get 2 matches on your Deal or No Deal cards, and you could win a free bingo package, but they did get rid of that. That is no more on Carnival Venezia, and it will be going away across the fleet. Regardless, Deal or No Deal is still a favorite of mine to watch, so we definitely did go. There was bingo, there was trivia, there is plenty, plenty, plenty to do on this ship. I do want to talk about the cruise director for a little bit. The cruise director this cruise was Mark Q. I also sailed with him when I went on Venezia last September. He is absolutely amazing. He is so good at his job. He is a wonderful cruise director. He is so funny. And I also went to a Q&A and got to hear a lot of his backstory and, you know, a little bit about his childhood and his mom and his sisters. I just really, really enjoy him as a cruise director. He will keep you laughing the whole cruise for sure. Overall, this cruise was a 10 out of 10 for me, even down to debarkation. It was really, really simple, really easy. Got off the ship quickly and was able to get to where we had to go. I loved everything about this sailing, just as much as I did the last cruise, if not even better. My daughter had an amazing time. I had an amazing time. I really, really hope I get to sail Venezia again.